You know, one of my best friends in this lifetime once told me that breakdowns create breakthroughs. And I guess that is how I am thinking about this whole DEI situation, because I do have mixed feelings about it. DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, right? And although I know that it was my ancestors whose blood is out in these streets marching, it's soaked in the fabric of this country, right? That's our blood out here, our ancestors that fought for this so that we could have equal opportunity and all the above, right? Because we were discriminated against being former slaves in this country. Then of course slavery ends, and then we go through Jim Crow and all these other, the black codes, all these things that we had to go through. This is why these initiatives were created. But other groups of interest kind of jumped onto that. And that's why some of our elders like to say that these other movements and other groups hijacked the civil rights movement that my ancestors began. And so breakdowns create breakthroughs. So although I'm not elated or happy about the fact that, equal opportunity, all those things are being affected and rolled back through this Trump administration, but this breakdown is also creating the breakthrough that while we melanated folk were the faces of all of this, and the propaganda around that we were the only ones benefiting from that. No. The breakthrough is that we are finding out, the country is finding out the truth. People are finding out the truth. The lies are being exposed. You see, Black people weren't the number one recipients of DEI. And there's so many content creators, too many to name. I wish I could tag all of you. I have so many of your videos reposted on my page because I love your delivery, absolutely. And I want to be able to highlight you. I'm going to figure out how to tag you all in a lot of this stuff too. But nonetheless, the number one recipient of DEI were white women. They didn't hire us. It was the white women that they were. And then when you keep going down the list, came the LGBTQTVIA, then the, disabled, of course, veterans, of course, maybe other other minorities or people who were classified into the minority category like Latinos and Asians, and then the Black people. So a lot of activists and Pan-Africanists, that why they were just so pro-Black, they were just angry at this. And I think that is part of the reason why Black women, there was this love-hate relationship with us being so inclusive in our efforts to help everybody. So I am glad that the 92% of the Black women that we are now honed in and focused in on our communities, only because we see that even trying to fight for everybody else, they're not necessarily fighting for us. So in this breakdown of DEI, the breakthrough is that we were not the ones that were mainly benefiting, and you're not seeing a bunch of breakdowns of us losing much. There are some of us in that, yes, but the image that it was that Black people are going to be affected. So people who voted for DJT, right, in the spirit of these minorities are getting everything and taking everything away from us, well, now you're finding out. That's the FAFO, the FAFO of this all. And that's why some of it is so hilarious, because now you're finding out. See, we're not being as affected by this. And I would say that although there is a large number of minorities that are on federal assistance, SNAP, and all of that too, but they keep forgetting those rural white areas that, they're part of that too. And they're the larger of the population. African Americans, are we even still a third of the population in this country, really? So it couldn't possibly be us that's actually benefiting or taking advantage or manipulating the system. It's not us that's doing it in drones and high numbers, because the math still ain't mathing. We're not the majority in the country anyway. So how could it be us? And Black women are the most of the educated. The stats are in for that. And just like we came to learn about affirmative action in college admissions, what group was suing for that? It would be the Asians. It wasn't us, because the same numbers of us that were going in. That never changed. So with the breakdown of affirmative action, DEI, and all this other stuff comes the breakthrough to finally debunk the fact that all of those things that we, the melanated folks, the Black people, were the major recipients of it. And now can come some healing and some real education around here. And let's tell the truth, people. Let's be honest about who the real recipients are. And if we are going to fight for those initiatives back, that we do something a little bit different than what our ancestors did, and we make sure, and we hold politicians accountable, and we make sure that we are at the table. And it's not just about politicians, it's not just about them. Not just about them, but also that we are engaged in our civic duty and doing what we're supposed to do so that we can actually back the politicians that represent us from the districts that they represent. So when we do this again, and we will get this stuff back, moving forward, let's make sure that we have the right percentage of representation for the things that we're going to do, because we can see that these other groups can't do it without us. They can't do nothing without the Black people. Black women, we've been named, we've been over here drinking water, filing our nails, making sure that we updating on our facials. We've been chilling, and nobody can seem to keep our names out of their mouths about the things that are happening to them that they voted for. The 92% tried to prevent a lot of the stuff that is happening and coming to pass. And now you made this bed, you have to lay in it. And we have to prepare ourselves and prepare our communities for what is going to come to us next. We know already. We know what this country is about. We already know. And that's why we couldn't F around with our votes. And for those Black people that voted against our interests, we know y'all look quiet. The little maggots and Trump supporters across the board, really, y'all look quiet. Y'all, come on out here now. Make sure you keep on saying it with your chest. Now you see the atrocities and the stuff that's going on. It's terrible. You see. Stuff will start even before the man got inaugurated. And it's only been, 10 days? If that, 10 days? Yeah, where y'all at? Can't hear you. We can't hear you. All of that noise you was making. But y'all finding out. And it's hard to feel sorry for you. So, yeah, leave the Black women and the 92% names out your mouth. Okay? We over here. We drinking water, and we taking care of self, and just basically waiting, because we need to get ready for what we need to do for our own communities. I mean, Godspeed to everybody though. Godspeed out there.